When was the last time you truly paid attention to what you were eating? Often we eat and cook on autopilot, only to complain later on that what we ate and what we served to our family wasn't exactly good or healthy. Mindfulness invites us to be present while cooking or eating, allowing us to finish our meals without judgment, guilt, and worry. Hello, everyone. My name is Gail Reyes Galang, and welcome to our peaceful classroom. Welcome to our
sacred space, our peaceful classroom.
Our peaceful classroom is a dedicated space where parents, educators, and other professionals come together to talk about ideas on how to promote positivity and peace within ourselves, our families, and communities. Remember Ala Dayan's hearty beef macaroni soup and her chicken ala ding? What about Chef Toto's tahong soup with corn and mussels in cream pasta? Well, today in our peaceful classroom, our special guest, Nina Daza-Puyat, adds her favorite family meals on the table. Oh, wait, it's time to cook. So let's get started with a dash of MC Love, family recipes that work from home.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Gail. Today's guest is the daughter of Philippine culinary icon, Nora Daza. She belongs to a family of food lovers, one of whom is her older sister, my classmate in Marinol College, or Marinol High School, si Stella. Stella, if you're watching, hello from the Philippines. A happy and proud home cook, she also dabbles in recipe development, food styling, and writing. A founding member of the Philippine Culinary Heritage Movement, she is also with the Culinary Historians of the Philippines, or CHOP. Her love for Filipino food is not only present in her associations, TV shows, and webinars. It is also expressed in her writing. For 6 years, from 2011 to 2017, she was editor-in-chief of Appetite magazine and is currently a food columnist for the Manila Bulletin as well as OneMega.com. In 2019, she updated and published the newest edition of her mother's cookbook, Let's Cook with Nora, which was originally released in 1969. Now, who doesn't have a tattered copy of that book? I do. In that same year, she wrote Tugtong or Tulang Bugtong, a series of poems and riddles describing different Filipino ingredients and recipes. Wanting to begin a devotion to Mahal na Ina ng Kusina, she wrote an original prayer for the kitchen in 2018, which received the imprimatur from no less than Archbishop Antonio Tobias. Formal studies include the American College in Paris from 1982 to 1983, a BS Hotel and Restaurant Administration degree from Cornell University in New York from 1983 to 1986, and a candidate for Masters in Family Psychology in Miriam College from 2001 to 2005. Her roots begin here in Marinol College, where she graduated grade school in 1976, then high school in 1980, and 2 years in the University of the Philippines from 1980 to 1982. For a dash of MC Love, family recipes that work from home, we proudly present our guest for today, Miss Nina Daza-Puyat.
Hi, Nina.
Okay, Nina, you have to unmute yourself and welcome to our Peaceful Parenting MC Dash of Love, brought to you this time by the Marinol Miriam College Alumni Association as well. Hi, Nina.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Coach Mac. And
My pleasure.
Okay, so before you get into the demo, of course, we'd like to get to know more about your childhood, no? So, Nina, we're going to flash some photos, and if you could tell us what's in these photos. Okay, Carissa?
I'm the only one who can hear the echo. Okay, so yeah. So that was just me in grade school. Yeah.
How cute your uniform.
This, yeah. It hasn't changed, no? Or a little bit. I think now you can open the front. No? Okay.
Okay.
And then the next one is my favorite year, grade 5, because we loved our teacher, Mrs. Marcela Agoncillo. Sorry, Alfred Agoncillo pala. Yeah.
I think she was a math teacher, tama ba?
No, homeroom.
Your homeroom teacher.
And then, I couldn't find photos of me in high school. So,
Well, it's nice that you still have those photos.
yeah, that's our family studio photo with my
Si Stella nasa kaliwa.
my sister Mariles. Batch 70 or 71 yata si Mariles. And then my two brothers, Sandy on the left and then Bong on the right. And then I'm the bunso.
Oh, you're the youngest. Nice.
Youngest of 5. Yeah. And then, next, that was college na. I went to high school college in UP and then I went to Cornell University as a transfer student. My 2 years in UP, 1 year lang na credit sa Cornell, so I had to stay for 3 more years. So I took up hotel and restaurant management. So the one with me is my best friend in high school, Lily Williams. And then the one beside her is my college roommate, Emily. Chinese Filipino, also from Manila. Next. Is there echo? Do you guys hear the echo? Is it just me?
Yes, po, there's an echo. I think you have to mute po your phone, Miss Nina.
Okay. Wait na. Okay. Patay na yung phone. Sorry. Turn it off na lang siguro. Turn off my phone. Okay. Sorry. Next. Next slide. Here it is again. Oh, that was when Sandy and I did a cooking show to help my mom because she went abroad, so we had to take over. And and then we were, nung may TV guide pa noong araw, in the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember TV Guide.
That was Let's Cook with Nora. And then this one was, my sisters and I planned to do a cookbook called Kitchen Sisters, but we haven't gotten around to doing it yet. So that was the photo, the cover supposedly of the book. That was maybe 2 years before my mom passed away. So we're very happy with that. We got this photo. My 2 sisters kasi live abroad eh. Yeah. So our mugs there are Manila, San Francisco, and Vancouver to represent where each of us is from, and then the recipes that we're bringing to the cookbook. So I don't know. Hopefully next year. I don't know. Next, this one naman, my mom was given an award by the Hotel and Restaurant Association of the Philippines, and then we went to Harbor View Restaurant to celebrate. Yeah. And then next, this one was an ad for Maya for their Generations campaign. So my mom, me, and my daughter who's from Miriam also, batch. I had to ask her, "What's your batch?" 2008 yellow batch. Billy, my daughter Billy, who's now a mom. She made me a grandma. So now,
Wow, Billy.
yeah.
Nice.
And this was for my mom's birthday, 80th birthday. We had it in the Environmental Institute. We rented the place. Yeah, she was so happy. It was her 80th birthday. And then, si Sandy, my brother, has a show on the Metro Channel, Footprints. And then when he went to Japan, they needed a co-host. So I was very fortunate to be asked to be his co-host. Yon. So we went around Japan just eating. It was fun. And that, minsan they also ask me to judge cooking contests. I like that because I'm able to talk to the students and, find out their process. It's very interesting to me. I want to always be a mentor to young people. So that's why I included that. And then, so I was also I was invited to be the editor-in-chief of Appetite magazine from 2011 to 2017. So I was asked by Miss Sariap, a high school, MCHS high school graduate of batch 78. So she's the one who started the One Mega Group. I'm sure you all know the Mega magazine, no? So Appetite is under the umbrella of the One Mega Group. And one of the columnists I got was Attorney Gabby Concepcion from High School 81. Kasi I know Attorney Gabby likes to cook. She's a lawyer, but she loves to cook and she loves to eat. So this one is a picture of us in Paris. Nakita kami sa Paris sa department store and sa supermarket. So we had a photo. That was And then that one is a photo with the late Sariap. I'm very grateful to her for giving me the chance to work in Appetite magazine. Yeah. And that was for the Megas Pinoy Pride Ball with Jollibee. I don't know. Just wanted to.
So cute.
Yeah, so that's my family, my husband Louis, and our 4 children. Gio, who's married now, and Billy, who's also married now. And we have 2 living with us now, Joseph and Mario. Yeah, that was years ago. Now malaki na sila. So there's another photo, I think, of us 2 years ago, with my son-in-law, Vince. Yeah. And then, okay. So these ones are just mga photos with people that I idolize. So I was able to get that photo with Martha Stewart, and then with Adam Richman. I don't know if you know Adam Richman, and then Anna Olson, the baker. I'm a frustrated baker. I'm not magaling sa baking. I like cooking more, but I'm trying. And then so when I got the first copy of Let's Cook with Nora, the first thing I did was I went to my mom in the crypt and I presented it to her. So I was praying that she'd be happy with it. And then I did a cooking demo at the Maya Kitchen the year that this book was released, because they were also a major sponsor. And then, in early 2020, I went to the States. A classmate of mine introduced me to this young Filipino chef, Francis Lim. And he didn't know much about my mom, but when I told him about her, he was interested. I said, you know what? He was interested in trying out her recipe. So I said, why don't I cook for you when I get to San Francisco? And then he had this idea of doing a collaboration, not a collaboration, a pop-up using her recipes. But of course, he modernized the recipes. So what I did was, when I got to the States, I cooked for him like 8 dishes one night, and then he 3 days later he modernized everything. Wow, you should have seen what they did with it. So it was nice because parang I'm able to introduce Nora Daza to the next generation. So they're very happy, and there's a lot of people who came. It's not big. It was just a 30-seater restaurant, but it was full. And some of my classmates came, so I'm very happy about that. And that one naman, I did a lechon belly roll, which is also in the cookbook for an event in France, based in France, a Filipina who invited me to do the demo in, it was held in France, but it was online. So that's the lechon belly roll for Christmas last year. That's it.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you for that. Coach Mac, do you have your book with you?
Of course, I do. Of course. Eto. Here's my copy.
Yeah, I think it's like a Bible in the kitchen.
Oh,
And
naman.
and the sauces in it give it away. So here's mine. And then the ribbon is like naka-default in beef with oyster sauce. Okay, so Nina, what do you have for us today? I think,
I was just going to say that in the old book, diba, some of you may have this old book already. Even me, growing up, of course, I was using this, but I only used maybe 15 to 20 dishes that I would go back to again and again and again. Okay. And then when Anvil, the publisher, not me, I didn't publish it, Anvil asked me to edit the cookbook. They wanted lang to remove the mga yung mga names ng mga Liberty Condensada na wala na ngayon, mga ganon, mga sponsors, Ajinomoto. So they asked me to remove it. So I said, okay, I can do that. I can edit that. But then as I went through each of the recipes, I realized that there were many, many dishes that I had never cooked before in my life, ever.
So you tried them one by one.
Yeah, so I said, okay, you know what? I want to retest everything because I also want to rewrite step by step by step because I want to do that. And I think some home cooks can relate to that. Minsan when you're cooking, nasa na ba ako? Where am I in the recipe? So I really wanted to, kasi in the old cookbook, it was just in paragraph form. So I wanted to do the book so that it's easier to follow. Diba?
Yes,
So
it's very easy to follow. Like for someone who just learned how to cook recently, parang this one is like, it's so easy to follow. Okay. So let's start.
let's start in the
I think this one is also in the book, no? The Parmesan fish sticks.
correct. In the original book, it was just called Fish Sticks Italian Style. And it called for cheese, grated cheese. But I said, what kind of cheese? We have so many cheeses available now. So I wanted to name the cheese. So I used just the cheap canned yung Parmesan cheese. So, and it turned out really nice. So I renamed it Parmesan Fish Sticks. Okay, for the Parmesan Fish Sticks, let's start, We need 2 pieces of frozen white fish, okay? This is just your cheap frozen fish available in the supermarket. If you have an aversion to frozen fish like this, you can use fresh fish fillet, of course. Can you see this one? So, and what you do, because since it's frozen, you have to thaw it really well. Just put it under running water until the ice is melted, and then just make sure you really pat it dry, okay? But I have a little parang cooking tip here that I did with fish like this, I soak it in milk, okay? You soak it in milk. You can use Tetra Pak milk, full cream milk, or evaporated milk, and then season it with salt and pepper para it's malasa na. Okay, so just let it soak in the milk, let it swim in the milk, and then you will see that the fish will plump up a bit, and it makes the fish creamier. Gail, have you tried this?
Yes, I tried that several times.
Try this also.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
Nina, if you're going to buy the fish from the supermarket, what kind of fish? Kasi there's cream dory or
Cream dory actually. Pero you get the bigger one para you have bigger sticks. And then after that you let it drain. Okay, kunyari natin na-drain na natin, na-soak na natin sila. Then you cut it into sticks, no? If you want to make your fillets, we cut it across like this, no? Like that, into sticks. You can cut it diagonally a little, slightly on the diagonal, para they're a little longer. As thin or as thick as you want, okay? Sa akin, maybe mga 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch thick. Okay? And then, so this is just, normal fish. If you want to use fresh fish, I would not make it into sticks. You can also use this naman as a big fillet. Then you bread the whole thing. See? Okay, so there we have the fish sticks. Like this, okay? Mga ganyan ka-thick. Okay? And then you prepare your flour. We're going to do a standard breading procedure. Okay, let me wash my hands. Okay, so what I do is I put I use a bat. Actually, you don't have to use a plastic if you're against using plastic. So you can just put the flour in there with
they can use a reusable container and then just shake it.
Yes, I knew. Okay, I was doing something. Okay. And then you put the, sorry, let us prepare the, let's prepare muna the egg wash and the Parmesan coating, okay? So you have here for the egg wash, two whole eggs, some milk. Okay, so this will your to act as your binder. And then for the, just leave the eggs. And then for the egg wash, and for the breadcrumbs pala. So you have the Japanese or panko breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese. Just the cheap, ha? You don't have to get the Parmigiano Reggiano, not that. Because this one holds better when you fry. Some basil, dried basil, not the fresh basil, the dried basil in the spice. And then fresh parsley, curly parsley will do. Make sure you combine it really, really well. And then I'm going to make this pa-fry na lang, so we can move on to the next recipe. I know what I'm going to do. Let's just do it like this, so that we're more environmentally friendly. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so what you do when you're cooking, you make sure that everything is ready, no? Wait, can you see it ba? Dahil pwede kayang i-move natin yung laptop pababa para makita niyo. Dito po.
Yeah, and if they have questions, they can type it in the chat box and Coach Matt can read them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how, I'm just going to give you a little, so what I'm going to do, okay, there's a little tip here when you're breading something. You assign one hand to be wet and one hand to be dry, okay? Okay, one hand will be wet, one hand will be dry. So you have the thing that you're breading, like the fish. So you put, this is now, my right hand is my wet hand. So I put it in the dry mixture and I use the other hand to be the dry. Then shake off the excess. You throw it in your wet. Use your other hand again for the wet.
Mm.
Then you throw it again in the dry. Then use your other hand again. Para you don't end up with clumps on your hand. Right? Yan. Okay? Sounds good. But sometimes you have to concentrate kasi minsan nakakalito.
Dapat no talking and no texting while doing that. Syempre naman.
Yeah, but
Yes, that's very helpful para your hands won't be sticky.
yeah, I learned this in college, can you believe? And then I still do it until now.
I use tongs and then it ends up, nagka-clump up talaga. So talagang
Yeah, it will be
two
the
separate. Yeah.
Yan na yung fish sticks.
Nice.
You get it na, no?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe I should start with the dip.
So do you have to freeze that before frying? Would it be better?
Better to refrigerate.
Ref.
How long?
Coating set. To let the coating set. Kasi,
Mm.
maganda rin kasi parang nagda-dry siya ng konti. Then when you fry, it's nice and crisp. It's nice and crisp. So yung sauce. Yung dip, actually, this Parmesan fish sticks, I added this dip. Wala siya in the original cookbook. Kasi, we make here in the house, sometimes we make mushroom fries. And then this is the dip that my daughter and I made. So it is, let me see. What's the recipe?
Nina, there's a question. Can you use the one air fryer?
I guess you can, but I've never tried it. I've never tried it. I'm sure you can. Yeah. Okay, so for the creamy garlic dip, you will need 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. The real mayonnaise, please. Okay, I don't like the not fake, the fake mayonnaise. And then 1/4 cup of sour cream. and then 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Okay. And then minced garlic. Okay, the garlic gives a very, very nice flavor. You can either mince it or grate it. And then some lemon juice. So ito na naman, Coach Mac and Gail. One of the reasons why I decided to redo the recipes kasi there's so many ingredients that are available now, di ba?
Yeah.
Lemons before in the 70s, or the 60s, the time my mom did this cookbook. Yung lemon, di ba, parang plastic na bottle. We never had lemons before.
Oo.
And even salmon was in a can, and now we have those things available to us now.
What was the last ingredient that you added?
Sorry, parsley.
Parsley.
Okay, so it's just mayonnaise, sour cream, Dijon mustard, garlic, parsley, lemon juice, and salt. So this is just the dip. That's it.
Nice.
It's really bagay. It's really nice. Yeah, actually, this also goes with tomato dip. Meron din recipe in the cookbook, Spanish tomato sauce yata. It's also bagay. So you can choose something creamy, something tomatoey.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So the next recipe is...
Oh, wait, hold on. Are there any questions, Coach Map? I think I saw one. If not Pindori, would there be any other kind of fish that you'd recommend?
Lapu-lapu, labahita. Wag lang red fish. Nicer if it's white flesh. White flesh fish that's, that flakes easily. Parang hindi siya masyadong bagay sa tuna.
Okay. And then, when you fry it, okay, so you put, like, how much oil do you need for that one?
Shallow fry, siguro mga 1 inch of oil.
1 inch. Oh, not really submerged in oil.
Yeah. No, it doesn't have to be deep fried.
And does your oil need to be very hot before you put in your fish sticks?
Yeah, well, not naman very, very, no. Anyway,
Basta it will just sizzle
yeah.
when you put.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be naman. It cooks fast then eh. So you don't run the risk of overcooking it. So as soon as
is it low heat or medium flame?
Parang medium lang.
Okay.
How many minutes per side, Nina?
Oh gosh.
Maybe just wait for it to brown.
Kasi mga 2 to 3 minutes lang or even less. Depends on, basta you just watch the color. I mean, your gauge is really more of the golden brown.
Golden brown. So maybe that's why it's important that it's not too hot, or otherwise it's going to burn fast and you think it's already cooked.
Right. And then, of course, while you're frying, you prepare a colander lined with paper towels. And then when you fry it, you put the fish sticks na katayo. Like when you fry lumpia, it's all so that
around the pan.
So that
Sa colander.
O para the oil will flow down.
Go down. Yeah.
So,
nice.
Oo. Tama. Good tip.
Okay, so thank you for that. Now let's go to your second recipe. Maybe.
Okay. So actually, this is again from the cookbook. Masyadong malaki, medium lang. It was coleslaw. It's just a regular coleslaw that I never made before. I just never thought of following my mom's recipe for it. But when we tried it when I was testing, oh my gosh, ang sarap pala ng coleslaw in my mom's cookbook. I just never tried it. And then when I was in the States in early 2020, January, my sister brought me to this restaurant called California Fish Grill. And then they had kale slaw. Sabi ko, hey, this is nothing but coleslaw with kale. And then I said, wow, what a great idea. And I tried it with my mom's coleslaw recipe and it worked. So, yeah, I just want to show you what kale looks like. I mean, some of you who may not know, buti na lang may suki had kale. So this is kale and it's really very It's parang one of the superfoods nowadays.
Yeah.
So they sell it naman in supermarkets or in the wet market. So I got this from my school. So what you do, because it's very tough, this kale. To be honest, when I was in college in the States, itong kale hindi naman kinakain. Kasi pang ano lang siya, pang decoration lang siya. At least in the 80s when I was there. Kasi I worked in, like after school, parang I worked in this parang salad bar for extra income, for extra money. And yung kale, halagay lang namin yun sa salad bar. So people didn't eat it anyway. So, but now it's like a superfood. So the way to do it is you remove the stem because it's very tough. You just need the leaves, okay? So you just take the leaves and then you're going to shred it also. Like, I think some people this and juice this because it's really high in nutrients. Okay, so where's my knife? And then, so anyway, for the coleslaw, you will need cabbage. Okay, where's the cabbage? Shred it really finely. Ayan. So 1/2 head of cabbage. Depends on how big your cabbage is, ha. So you make about 3 cups of shredded cabbage. Then, okay, this much kale. Okay. Can you see it? Maybe you can focus here na. Okay, so I have here the kale. Okay, this is just, it tastes the same naman, pero it's just, nice and parang you feel good that you're eating something really healthy. Okay, so you have here the kale, and then you have here your shredded cabbage, ganyang ka-fine, okay? And then we have our grated carrots. Okay. And then you'll need crushed pineapple drained, okay? So drain. Ako what I do is put the can in the ref already para it's nice and cold. Some raisins. This is also the original recipe. At yung dagdag ko na lang is some craisins or dried cranberry. And top it with either pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds, which are also available now, just for added nutrition. Crunch also, texture. So the first thing we do is here pala, sauce. Okay, because I don't memorize it. Okay. So what you do is you can combine all your dressing first, ha? So we have here 1 cup of mayonnaise. Okay. Okay, mayonnaise. In the 60s, they didn't care about cholesterol yet, or didn't know. So, ayan. And then salt, white pepper, and sugar. Gail, I'm not so sure if the cookbook that you have is from the very first printing, yung 2019 printing. Kasi in the 2020 printing, kasi they ran out of copies already, so they reprinted in 2020. I added the kale slaw already.
Oh, that's why I have not seen that. This is 2019.
The 2020 edition, I was make dagdag. Kasi there were some mistakes also in the cream puff recipe, supposed to be 2 egg yolks instead of 2 whole eggs. So we were able to correct that in the recipe. So anyways,
Mine is also coleslaw.
yours is, it says coleslaw, pero there's variation.
Yes, correct.
Original. And then it's just said, the variation is my own inputs in the book. Okay, so this one, so your dressing is ready, and then you just literally combine everything. Your cabbage, carrots, kale, and cabbage. Sayang. Okay, let's take this out. Can you borrow it? And then,
Okay, there's a question from Larry. Can we replace kale with lettuce? Because sometimes kale is not available.
I've never tried it, but I was tempted to try it with spinach more than with lettuce. Kasi lettuce is very fine. I think it's going to wilt in the dressing. But kale kasi is very sturdy. So I don't think so. You can try it. And then literally just mix it together. And then this is nicer pa nga overnight. Give it time to, for the flavors to meld and, marry with each other. Later, I will show you all the finished product.
Nina, for the vegetables that you use, that's straight from the ref, no? You just wash them and then cut them. That's a very newbie question, di ko alam. Baka yung iba binoboil nila. Di naman kailangan.
This is fresh. Fresh cabbage.
Fresh.
Yeah, I researched pa nga eh. Wait. I researched something. Coleslaw is from the Dutch term called koolsla, which means cabbage salad. So it really has to have cabbage. So this is also nice, guys, for like when you're making a homemade burger, you can use this as a burger topping. Anything that, kunyari, if you're having like fried chicken or ribs, this kale slaw is really nice.
Okay, nice. So how do you store it? You just put it in the ref?
Yes. Just cover it and then put it in the ref. And then, yung pumpkin seeds, last na yun.
When you're serving it na.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you can even put this can be salted pumpkin seeds. Diba, before, I don't know, when I was young, when I would make brownies, I would make sure that the cashews that I buy would be unsalted. But now they put salted caramel, blah, blah, blah. So now this is a new, trend that's coming out. So it's okay if it's salted seeds, It's nice na kasi that kaka-contrast in flavor, with the sweetness of the raisins, the cranberries, the pineapple. And then there's the little asim from the mayonnaise. So see, look at it now. Kanina it was so
nice, so good. And it fit, it's bagay with parmesan.
I think
fish.
so. Yeah.
Anna, Nina, there's a question from Anna. Can you use daw Japanese mayo, Kewpie?
So, pero mahal.
Yun lang. Masarap naman.
Pwede. I'm sure pwede.
Okay, so nice. So let's go to the third one kasi I think the third one is longer to cook.
Yeah, let's
What time?
while we're getting the
So while they're preparing, Nina, is the 2020 edition available in the bookstore, or can they buy it online?
yes,
Lazada.
it's online. I know Taco carries it, Anvil Publishing carries it, and the Kitchen Bookstore carries it also. Yeah. So, taste it and see if you want to add a little more sugar, a little more salt.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's perfect. The coleslaw is so perfect. I always say, when you're cooking, you always have to taste. And I always write when I do the cookbook is trust your taste buds. Because ultimately, you're the judge of what you're eating. I mean, what you're cooking. So you decide. I want you to feel what I want people to feel. I want them to feel empowered by what they're doing, but by the cooking that they're doing is they have to rely on their own sense of taste, So ultimately you judge. So you learn because the more you cook, the more you practice, the better you'll be at it. So the recipe is just a guide, but ultimately you have the power.
Well said.
Okay, this osobuco, ayan na. Okay, this osobuco naman is not from the cookbook. Ay, kuha mo yung appetite cookbook.
Okay, so since it's not in the cookbook, they might want to take a screenshot, like what I'm going to do right now.
I did it
So
already.
Yanina is showing us the ingredients of osobuco.
Kasi the reason why I share this, kasi this is a family favorite eh. This is a family favorite. This osobuco, I did it for Appetite Magazine because we also did 5 cookbooks for Appetite Magazine. Okay. Can you see ba my screen? Okay.
Yan.
Okay, there's something lang in the recipe that's not complete, I think. Is that fine salt that you placed there? It just says fine. Carissa, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here is the recipe, Appetite cookbook recipe that I did when I was with Appetite. No, we have. This is one cookbook with 2 sides. First, the global recipes, and then there's the Pinoy side because I felt very strongly that I wanted to do both because, di ba, tayo, we have moods for Pinoy food. I mean, I'm sure you have people who you want rice and ulam. And then, but we also have some moods for pasta and salad, ganyan, di ba? So, I insisted on this concept of global and Pinoy food. So, this osobuco recipe is here. And I want to tell you, I did this, here, this osobuco. So I researched again, because I know it's an Italian dish, but osobuco means bone with a hole. So this cut of meat, you need beef shank, okay? So this is what I have here, beef shank, okay? So this is highly prized for the marrow, di ba? Pag nagninilaga tayo, we like to eat sabi nila utak, but actually it's not utak, it's marrow, di ba? So this is beef shank, no? If you can get the bigger ones, because these are just, I ordered online lang eh, no? Nicer yung bigger ones kasi mas malaman. And when you buy in the supermarket, always ask them to look at pwedeng patingin yung other side kasi minsan madaya. The bone is small and then the back, ang laki-laki ng bone. So, lugi kayo. So, you make sure that you get a good cut of beef shank. Then maganda rin yung merong mga what do you call that? Yung parang gelatin.
Marbling.
Yeah. I don't think it's marbling kasi it's parang what do you call that? Basta gelatin, I forgot, sorry, the term. But anyway, this osobuco, when I was in college, we were told that this is one dish where a restaurant can get a big profit margin because it's cheap to make, but you can, charge high for it because it's parang social dish, parang siyang ganun, osobuco. But it's actually very easy to make. So, what you need is, again, we're going to coat the beef with seasoned flour. Okay, so we have here salt, pepper, and flour. Okay.
Nina, Anna is asking, are you referring to litit, the gelatin thing?
Yes, Anna who?
Anna, sorry.
Anna.
Wait, let me.
Thank you. Yes.
Anna D.
Thank you very much.
One of our parents from the HEU.
Yes, correct. Ano ba? Sorry ha. Okay.
Thank you, Anna.
So that's 1/2 teaspoon of fine salt.
Yeah, it's not
1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper.
Kasi, wait, I'm heating up my oil. Any plate. anything. And then, so you will coat the reason why we're doing this is we want to sear in the juices of the meat. Okay, we're just searing the meat. We're not cooking it. We don't have to cook it all the way through. Okay.
Nina, why do we sear the meat?
To parang to seal in the juices. Para it doesn't
Oh.
out. Yeah, and also browning helps in flavoring the sauce and makes the sauce richer, deeper. Kasi nagkaka-caramelization, di ba?
Mm.
Outside. You know, there's so many recipes that I discovered in the cookbook that I never cooked before. Nakakatuwa kasi ang daming, you know, I was able to add more dishes to cook in the recipe. Okay, so I'm heating up the oil. Okay, my favorite tool is also tongs. Sabi ni Coach Max, she uses tongs. Ako rin, I like tongs. This is smart.
Thanks, Nina.
No, I know, I love. It's not yet hot. It's not yet hot. But anyway, we can prepare the rest of the ingredients.
So, did you put anything in your frying pan?
Yeah, I have just oil. Cook
Okay.
or
Oil. So that's olive oil, 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
what oil? We forgot to put olive oil. Let's just use olive oil later in the saute, ha?
Okay. So is that 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil?
Yeah.
There.
There. Okay. Okay. So while that's frying, I just want to say we're going to do the sauce for this ossobuco, and there's this combination of 3 aromatic ingredients: onion, celery, and carrot. This is the holy trinity of aromatics also. That's the base, and then some garlic. You can add some garlic.
Nina, there's a question from Lolette Alipe.
Yeah.
Which of all your mom's recipes would you consider your family's favorite?
Madami. Chicken relleno comes to mind. Sandy likes ginger and onion chicken, and Mariles. Ako, because nga of this, oh gosh, so many. And every time, so many. I like the sukiyaki. I like last night we had ano ba yun? Spare ribs and sausage stew.
Mm-hmm.
We had that in the old cookbook. That was called, I was showing it that to my son. I said, look at this cookbook. It was called, oh gosh. Okay, some things in the cookbook I also switched around. Okay, I have to explain because there's this dish called, pizza pie. Pizza pie. Okay? But that's how we used to call pizza before. It's under noodles, pasta. Pizza pie is not pasta or noodles or so why is it there? So I moved it to the appetizer section and I called it homemade thin crust pizza. And it's excellent. It's an excellent recipe. We do, siguro in the pandemic, I've done siguro mga 5 or 6 times na we have pizza. It's so good. The sauce is easy to make. The crust is easy to make. Yan. Kaya pa yun yung plato pa. Okay. So yeah, you don't have to cook the meat all the way through, ha? Kasi you're going to make this, you're going to braise this for a long time. Lalo na yung ganito, very tough cut of meat, mga at least 3 hours ito.
Wow, tagal din pala, no?
So, okay. Then let's do the sauce. How's our kaya? Already 4, sorry. Okay, so we will heat up, where's my olive oil? Okay. When you buy olive oil, you always look at the manufacturing date. It has to be like less than a year. Bottled less than a year. Olive oil is better if it's fresh. Rather than, it's like the opposite of wine. So, okay, so now I'm heating up some olive oil and I will saute now the onions. Okay, okay. Sorry, I think we're going to be over time. Anyway, this is fast. I have
That's okay. So that's one large onion chopped.
Yeah, one large onion chopped. Okay.
So you have to wait for it to be transparent a little bit.
Yeah, translucent. But what
Translucent.
the way I put it is, I also say until fragrant, soft and fragrant, because I want you to use both your sense of smell and your sense of sight, so that you're focused on what you're doing. No, sometimes in the cookbook, I think I say there until soft and fragrant. No, I like being in the kitchen. It's like a whole so many things going on. So onions, garlic.
I have a question, Nina. Some recipes say mauna yung garlic sa onion. Some recipes mauna si onion sa garlic. Ano ba talaga?
Ako naman, I go by onion first because minsan nasusunog yung garlic eh.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
kasi it's cut smaller.
Yes.
So I use it after. Unless I'm browning the garlic and making it golden brown. And then, so celery, kasi yung celery natin. Guys, I also want to say, okay, like when you're buying celery, like in the cookbook, I say, when you're making chicken stock from scratch, use the leaves. Don't throw away your mga celery leaves because sayang, you put it in your stock. Then you use the stem, okay? Even the mga balat ng carrots, basta it's washed, you add it to your stock, pangpalasa. That's one of the things that I added in the cookbook kasi parang these are the things that we didn't really know before. So you add the carrots. The carrots can be a little bigger or a little smaller, up to you. And then tomato paste. Okay, guys, when you're cooking with tomato sauce or tomato paste, diba you see that it's red like this, red. But when you're making it, you don't cook when it turns orange. Okay. I have red wine. Yeah, how much is sorry, I can't remember what is the recipe. I know it calls for red wine. Okay, celery, carrot, tomato paste, yeah. And then 1 can of diced tomatoes. Where's my can of diced tomatoes? So you cook, see, look at it. It became orange, the tomato paste. Okay, and then 400-gram can of diced tomatoes. Okay. You let that simmer first. And then 1 cup of red wine. Okay, when you're going to cook with wine, they always say use wine that you can drink. Okay, so it has to be good enough wine, but it doesn't have to be expensive wine. So 1 cup of red wine. If you want white wine, it's fine also. Basta don't put anything sweet. It has to be dry. Okay, when you're putting alcohol, you let it sit first for a bit. Don't make it halo. And then we will put the beef stock. Itong beef stock, I just used beef cube. But if you want, in the cookbook, there's a recipe for homemade beef stock. If you want to make your own, it's also easy. Kaya lang, you have to buy a lot of bones. But for the purposes of our demo, I just use the
If you're going to use beef cubes, so 1 cube and how much water?
2 to 3 cups. So,
2 to 3 cups for 1 cube.
yeah. Yeah. Parang laurel. Saan yung laurel? Ito. Nawawala si laurel. Okay. So you put now the dried herbs. I have here dried oregano and dried thyme. Okay? And then, so when you're braising something, you have to put this up to boiling temperature. Okay, wait for it to boil. And then you add your meat. Okay, our pan is a little, my pot is a little small kasi I need pang induction lang eh. So we wait for it to boil and then we will add this. Sige, let's wait for it to boil. And then guys, this is very, very important. I cannot, you have to make the topping for this. Okay, this really adds to the flavor. It's called the gremolata. It's a mixture of lemon zest, okay, lemon zest, parsley, and grated garlic or minced garlic. Thank you. Okay, so yung lemon zest, yun ang lalagyan natin. Yeah. So you just use a zester or a grater, and just combine the three. That's it. Okay, thank you. So yan lang. Just go all around the lemon. Don't grate the white part because it's
It's best also that your lemon is dry because if it's wet, it's going to be sticky.
Yeah. You know, it happened to you. Yeah. So it's really, really nice. I mean, wow, talaga. You cannot eat this thing without. So you combine the lemon zest, parsley, and the minced garlic, and wow, really it adds to your. Okay, so this is the finished product. This is our osobuco last week. So this is your osobuco. Just put it on top. Yan.
Okay.
That's it. And then you have to eat it with the gremolata. You have to. If not, don't make it. So, okay.
Nina, there's a question. Can we use fresh tomatoes instead of the diced tomatoes na canned?
Yeah, I think so. Kaya lang kasi yung canned, may konting sabaw.
Yung sabaw.
Maganda yung yung rich color niya. So if
I
you're
see.
fresh tomatoes, add tomato sauce. Feeling ko lang. Kasi you need the liquid eh. Because you're going to braise this meat. This is going to be for 3 hours. So you need liquid.
Yeah. Can you also use a pressure cooker?
Yes. I use it.
To make it shorter, so mga about 35 minutes na lang. Because otherwise, you have to keep boiling that for how many hours?
3.
3 hours, see? So better if you use the pressure cooker.
So we have here our fish sticks right now. Yeah. So look at our fish sticks. Yay.
Nice.
And crunchy.
Yeah. Crunchy siya. Masarap siya talaga.
Siyempre, ang plating important, no, Nina?
Ayan. Para sa show lang.
Sa show lang.
Not even pantay. Ano ba yan? And then this one is, gosh, it's overflowing naman.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're taking a photo for Instagram, it's nicer always if it's odd number pieces. Okay?
Good tip.
Look at these 5 pieces. Diba? It's
Nice.
But if you make it 6, somehow it looks odd. I don't know why. I don't know why. That's why I stopped at 5.
Oh, it's nice at 5 because parang 5 fingers. Pag 6, is 6 fingers yun.
Yeah. And then our kill slow. Okay, now it's simmering. I will add the beef. And then when you're simmering, make sure you bring it up to boiling again. Bring it up to boiling. Then cover. Here's our cover. then cover, and then lower the heat to the bare minimum. Then let it stay there for 3 hours. Yeah, that's the way to braise something. Okay, very low, you have to turn. Thank you. Ay, salamat. So, yeah, so that's it. So after 3 hours, you'll get your ossobuco. And then we have our Parmesan fish sticks, and we have our kale slaw with pumpkin seeds.
Yun.
There. That's it.
This is very exciting. I'm sure people would want to try this over the weekend. Okay, so thank you, Nina, for all that you have shared with us today, including also stories about your amazing family. And we also know that we don't have time for questions, but anyway, we've entertained enough questions in the chat box. We also know that you composed a prayer for the kitchen.
1 minute. Just a background on the prayer. Kasi I was doing my mom's cookbook. And then, my neighbor gave me an apron with a kitchen Madonna design. Sabi ko, meron palang kitchen Madonna, I didn't know. And then I started, that was Holy Week, so I was praying and praying for guidance from my mom's book. Kasi parang sige, baka people will say, why did you touch it? It's a classic. So I was really praying that I do a good job. So, and then I remember the kitchen Madonna, and I said, Kitchen Madonna, please help me, guide me. And then I said, then parang kitchen Madonna sounds so foreign, you know? So I said, meron kayang Filipina kitchen Madonna? Sabi ko, kung wala, kailangan dapat meron. So I called up my cousin who's a priest, and I said, can I write a prayer, and can I start a devotion to kitchen Madonna, the Filipina? And he said, yeah. I said, are you sure? I said, yeah. So that night, I wrote a prayer. As in, dire-diretso talaga. I kept thinking, kasi me, I'm a home cook. All the home cooks that do the same thing every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, pinakakain nila, nagluluto sila every day. So this is for you. This is for all of you. This is the prayer that I composed. And I want to start a devotion to the Mahal na Ina ng Kusina. So, make it a habit to pray before you cook. Yan lang.
Yes, that's nice. So let's read the prayer, and that's good advice to pray before you prepare something for your family.
Yes. So,
Nina, could you read it for us?
Yes. So, Mahal na Ina ng Kusina. O Mahal na Ina ng Kusina, Ina ng Diyos, may bahay ni Jose, nagtaguyod ng isang banal na tahanan, nagsilbi sa banal na pamilya, ng puso at tapat. Turuan mo kami, gabayan mo kami sa aming kusina at tahanan. Sa bawat saing ng bigas at paghiwa ng sangkap, sa bawat halo ng sandok at pagtimpla ng ulam, sa bawat hugas ng pinggan at pagligpit ng mesa, ang trabaho sa kusina, mahirap, walang katapusan. Naway ang pag-ibig ng Diyos ang siyang magbigay lakas. Naway ang iyong halimbawa ang magsilbing inspirasyon na ipagpatuloy ang gawain sa araw-araw nang may ngiti sa aming puso at may pag-ibig sa aming mga kamay para sa kapakanan ng aming mga mahal sa buhay. Amen.